Hey y'all, welcome, welcome.
Red, red.
Hmm? You ready?
Stay ready.
I know that's right.
Legend 6.
It's that time. Can y'all believe we on episode number 3? That is
I know,
so
right?
crazy,
Yeah,
and I am so excited.
I know. I'm
Hey,
excited for you.
Simone. Hey, Bubby.
Light.
Hey, 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 y'all.
What's going on?
We are about to get it.
Mm.
Get it started. It's on episode number 3. Before before we start, what are we drinking on? Everybody, throw it in the chat. What you sipping on? Your drink of choice. It could be whatever you choose that you need for the week. It's a midweek drink.
Well, people like to say hump day. Happy hump day.
Hump day, happy hump day. Oh my God. As you can tell, I'm on, well, I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully you can't tell. I'm on my Ciroc, my lemon Ciroc tonight.
So lemon syrup.
Nothing, nothing major, just a little lemon Ciroc and some,
See,
I don't know, some little bougie lemon, something else I put in there with some ginger. I just mixed up some stuff. So
is it good?
yes, it
How
is
did you?
good and it's really pretty. Like in my little bougie cup. Oh,
Okay,
look,
okay.
plastic ain't too bougie. I be breaking cups. Hey Victoria. Yes, share the live. Please share, share, share. So let's just do what we came here to do.
Into it. Let's
Welcome,
do
welcome to the Ladies Lounge. As we all know, it's time to grab your drinks, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Welcome to the Ladies Lounge, evolving women through conversation. Tonight's topic: intentional living and celebrating every moment. And I have with me on episode number 3, the beautiful Benita. She is here to chop it up with us in the Ladies Lounge.
yeah.
As always,
Hey,
some housekeeping rules before we get started. Um, Here in the Ladies Lounge, we are all about respect, right? Ladies Lounge, give respect, and
yeah.
we want to receive respect. So, also in the chat, right? We lead by example. So, what you see us do here on this platform, that's what we want to see. That energy, the respect, the engagement, all of that. Can we just stop for this gray hair? Y'all see my gray hair right here?
Oh, don't even get me started with
It's
that.
right
I
here.
made
Like it's
sure
really
when I
bothering me.
when I did my braids this past few days, I made sure to grab them little things,
Like,
just
why is
slip
this
them back.
gray hair?
Brace it.
Simone says she on water tonight. Okay, Simone, we'll give you a pass. She had some peach wine last week, but we'll give you a pass tonight. She said she was really busy. But I'm really,
Yeah,
really excited to just jump right into this topic tonight because it is so much ground to cover when we talk about intentional living and celebrating every moment. Like so before we start, right? Before we get into that intentional living, I do believe that we have a story to tell. So everybody needs to know where I've came from, my story, my blueprint to understand this topic here and why it's so delicate for me. So I was diagnosed with anxiety back in 2015, 2016. And it was really hard. being the only one in my family that was diagnosed with anxiety at the time. So back then, it wasn't really, I didn't really put much effort into even doing the legwork to understand what that entails and how I can help myself at that time. 2016 was a good year. Like I don't even think I cared to really put forth the effort, honestly, until I had my first panic attack. And I didn't know what it was. This was one night we took all the kids to the movies. It was me and a bunch of my friends and family. We all took the kids out, got the name of the movie that we saw. And I just went, it was normal. We went to Chili's first before the movies, like we would normally do. And I'm in the bathroom, and all of a sudden, bam, my heart is racing, my palms are clammy and stuff like that. Like I literally, my sister had to come to the bathroom, and I was just like, I think I gotta go to the hospital. Something's not right. Like I'm sweating, I can't focus. I didn't know what it was. Like I couldn't even finish the movie. Um, so even with that, I still once I got through that, like that panic attack, it was like, okay, that was one and done. I was still able to go on with my life, still not really digging deep into what anxiety really was, because nobody else around me was experiencing it. So I felt crazy, like, everybody tell you to pray about it. And move forward, which is absolutely correct. You do have to pray over your diagnosis and and mental health. Like you do have to pray over that. However, you do have to put in the work and be intentional. So
Yeah.
after experiencing so many panic and anxiety attacks, I was just like, something got to give. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stop right there because that's my journey with anxiety, right? And then getting on certain medications, I was never suicidal, never had any thoughts of it until you trying out these different medications, and I was just like, I don't like my mind, but I don't. The medicine was taking over. Your body chemicals and the medicine could really do some tricky stuff. So the fact that I had like a couple of thoughts in my head, never nothing that I've really never acted out on, but just the thought alone scared me enough to where I was like, Brittany, you got to get a hold of yourself. Like, what can we do now? Um, so that's my story of where I'm starting from with the depression and anxiety. Having that diagnosis leading up to talking about intentional living. So I'm gonna pause right here, and I know I gave you a brief introduction, but I want you now to, you know, share your story, share where you came from to build you up to why intentional
Yeah.
living is so important.
Well, I'm not gonna go way deep in all of that, but I just know just rewind a little bit. Diagnosed in 2018, stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh, I think we lost you. There you go. I think you're on mute now.
Can't hear me.
All right, and we back.
We're back.
Okay,
So I don't know how far, how much we
we could just
got.
start over from the top because I think I heard nothing.
Yeah. So just it, just I want to say over the past few years of just living my best life, and the reasons why is because I found out I had cancer in 2018, and it was terminal, and the type of cancer that I have and where it went is no particular cure for it. So they say, but just treating. So that's basically what I've been doing the past 5 years. I'm grateful to be here every day. I wake up. I'm just very grateful for my life, and I just you know, I just tell myself to do what makes me happy. And yeah, that's what I do each day. So,
And that, first of all, thank you for being so open here with us in the ladies lounge and sharing your story, because I know for me with anxiety that was not something that I wanted to talk about. I tried to hide it as much as I could because I was so ashamed of having anxiety because nobody else at the time had it. So for you now to be in this space of where you are, to be open to talk about it, I commend you on that, and thank you for sharing that with us. So here in the ladies lounge, we're solution based, right?
yeah.
So we gonna touch on where we came from, but we gonna pivot over to how do we, what's the solution? So we know we have anxiety. You know, I'm sure with your diagnosis it came with the anxiety. I'm sure you went through, or I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, the depression was there as well, because of course you're finding out something that we all know to be, you know, we've lost people from this. Like I lost my dad to cancer. Um, I had a scare, you know, with family members with having that disease, and you know, we always walk around here like F cancer. We are not
Yeah.
with it. Um, so this is why intentional living is so important, because finding out these health diagnoses, and once you don't take your power back, you can lose the whole war, not just the battle. And so let me ask you first, what is intentional living to you? What does that mean to you?
That means just getting up every day and appreciating, I have another day ahead of me, and to do whatever makes me happy and whatever that is, and just being grateful for everything that I have and just the people around me, and just living my best life, just the way I know how to do. So, yeah,
And now for me, because being intentional is you making that decision and you're sticking with it, whatever that decision is for you and your purpose in life, right? So for me, I knew I wanted to take back the power. I didn't want to um I didn't want to let anxiety take over me. Like I did a workshop on this, how I know, y'all, that I am getting over having anxiety. I did a whole workshop called how to handle anxiety with a swag.
yeah,
And for me, that was an eye opener. That was like, I guess, like my little breakthrough to say, okay, girl, look at you. You know, look at you out here. Hopefully, you know, the ladies that was involved in that workshop, they got something from it. But most importantly, what was important to me was sharing my story. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Like sharing my story out loud, not keeping it in my head, because that's when you hear all the noises, you know, when you keep stuff bottled up. So it is healthy to talk about it. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, I know that it's okay, because now I'm helping people with their anxiety. Like me, they're the one who's having the panic attacks and stuff in the bathroom. And now people are coming to me and like, how do you deal with that? Girl, we take
yeah,
it literally one day at a time. I had to take it minute by minute, like just slow it down just a little bit. So for me, when you talk about being intentional, it teaches you discipline, if I could say that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're making this decision like, no, anxiety is no longer gonna take over me. You know, your diagnosis ain't gonna take over you. And if we can, let me just, when I say it's not gonna take over you, and if you're open to sharing, when you first found out about your diagnosis, what was the first thing that came to mind?
straight up, like I started thinking about my kids, and the first thing I think I probably that came out of my mouth was like, "How much time do I have to live?"
Mm,
Like seriously, I was like, "Am I about to die?" I might have said that, or I might have said like, how much more time do I have, or something, like looking at the doctor, like they had a number or whatever. And I just remember the doctor saying the particular cancer that I have and how it's
Mm-hmm.
progressing at the time, like 1 year of quality life. And I was at the time 36 years old,
Mm-hmm.
3 kids, children. And I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, just kind of like in complete shock. Just know, like, so with that being said, I started treatment right away, chemotherapy, and what was crazy is I didn't feel any pain. I wasn't like
Wow.
sick or anything. I felt this lump, and I just was just I knew something was up because it seemed to be growing over time. And I would tell my doctors and everybody, and they would just brush it off because all my blood work and everything would come back perfect, and they would say I was completely healthy. And I went to the doctors religiously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those that they see me, they know my all my doctors know me. So
Right.
yeah, so it was just like, and then no, we didn't have a history of breast cancer in my family, so it was just, and I was running around being teen mom and doing working and doing this and doing that, like all whatever, during that time. And just to find out that I had cancer, I'm gonna say that was the first thing that came to mind. And I think, I was just telling myself, you know it's I'm not gonna take that. You know what I mean? I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna go with how I feel. And I think it does start mentally, like, because I could have
Absolutely.
disintegrated with that one, and it was crazy because at the time, I found out that I had cancer, and my relationship within my marriage had was disintegrating at the same time. So it
Wow.
was just really, really tough moment because I had lost like my best friend, which was my
Mm,
ex during that time. So, and to know I was going to have to navigate that and, myself solo.
right. So at
Um,
what point, because I know for me, like I got tired of the anxiety, like, so the anxiety really started taking over to where I wasn't driving because I had a really bad panic attack on
yeah,
95 one year. This was back in 2019.
I hear
And
about
I
that.
had my son was in the car. It was really bad, but really more. When I look back over, I could laugh because I was just like, "Girl, you was really dramatic." But at that time, it wasn't funny. And y'all know me to be extra. However, it it was like to see my son cry. I couldn't calm him down because
Mm,
I can't calm myself down. You know what I'm saying? So being in that moment of like you just don't know what to do. Like you said, for you, you're like, oh my gosh, the time frame. For me, in that moment, when you go through an anxiety attack or a panic attack, you really do feel like you about to like meet your maker. You know what I'm saying? So I always look back and I be like, what was the moment for me to say, no, I'm going to take my power back? Um, And I know
what
for me, it was just like when I saw my son cry, like that, I was just like, no, you got to really get it together because you have this young man looking at you and it's scaring him. So we got to figure it out. So what was that moment for you when you were like, I ain't gonna let this take over me?
I think right away. I think right away. I think right away. That's all I can say. Like thinking back on that time, and what's crazy is I started journaling around that time, so I probably have everything documented and how I felt. I can't tell you exactly how I felt, but
Right,
I think my journals are 58 of them since that time. But I think right away. I think a lot of the times I'm living in kind of like the now, even though I'm going to treatments and doing all that. But
hmm,
once I leave treatment and step out of the hospital and the doctor's office or whatever, I'm like back on to what I have to do during the day. And because I write everything down and I journal, I write down like things that I have to do each day and try to like knock those little things out. And if I do the little things, I'm fine. Like
right.
I don't need stress in my life. I can't be stressing out anything, even the littlest things
Stress
with like things that I have to
kills.
do. Yeah, I'm telling you, it really,
Stress really
it does
kills.
affect you. And I'm just gonna go back and say what I'm just grateful because I started thinking like, man, September 27th this year will be make 6 years since that time,
Wow.
that moment that we just spoke
Wow.
about.
Yeah.
That first day, which it feels like it happened. Oof, when I think about it, like just yesterday, and I'm just grateful to still be here. And like, so I did go through a stint of where, you know, I'm just feeling like I feel great. I feel great
You
right now.
look
So
great. You look,
yeah, I
like
feel great.
some people always say, well, when you tell them, like, hey, I have this diagnosis, whatever it is, health wise, the first thing some people are like, well, you don't look like you have that. I didn't know. Well, how did
Yeah.
you look, ma'am? Because I
Mhm.
look at myself every day. Some days are better than others, especially when you're talking about losing people. Like, you lost your best friend. Of course, we're talking about marriage, and your divorce. And
Yeah.
then for me, it was losing my dad, like going through grief and still trying to navigate through having anxiety or the world changing around you, like, and keeping up with stuff. But I think you hit home when you were like, the mental is really, really important and stress, because
Hmm.
that's the benefit of intentional living.
Yeah.
When you say, I'm going to gain my power back, and say, I'm not going to let this take over me, that that's so important. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to succumb to what these doctors are saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of doctors, did you go through a lot of, like, did you go through the doctors? Did you do all of that? Or how some people are in this self-healing?
Um, I'm a little both. You know what I mean? I still
Okay.
believe that, God blessed us with these smart doctors that are out here. You just got to find the one that you feel comfortable with. But I do believe that the medicines do help, and but I do some natural treatments as well. It like blends. I do whatever makes. The thing with me, I really am an advocate for my body, from head to toe, my everything for myself. If I feel a certain way with something, I'm gonna say something, and if I need to switch something, because it's making me feel a certain way, we're gonna have to make some changes. I'm not gonna sit here and let the doctors just tell me or whoever just tell me that this is good and this gonna help and this gonna help. I've been with this for 6 years, going on almost now, so I've heard a little bit of everything from
Hmm.
everybody about whatever drinks and medicines and teas and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very open to it, and if it sounds like something that I would love to need to try, I'm gonna try it. We'll see
Now
what happens.
you're one of the people that I do admire, because I have watched. Okay, so backstory, y'all. So this is actually family.
Oh yeah,
Y'all.
I was gonna say
This is me sharing with y'all when I said I have some heavy hitters in my family. This is me sharing my family with you all to help you understand the woman that I am today. So I have watched Benita's journey, and we talk, and I told her how inspirational she is. Some days where I'm like, man, I don't feel like getting up, or I'm in my head. Honestly, God, honest truth, I don't even think she knows this part. I would literally think back, or sometimes watch her, because she got little YouTube clips, or now she's on Facebook, sharing her travel and stuff. And I was like, man, if she could get up and go. Now I'm not there yet to be traveling by myself solo. However, I commend her on just everything, like where she is, just how zenful and peaceful. I was just like, oh, this is the right person for this topic, because just to watch her take her life back and to be here 6 years later, that's commendable. So I just had to let y'all know, like, I already knew this, but I was so excited for y'all to know. And it's some stuff that she made sure that I didn't, because we dive deep here in the ladies lounge. But she, and I don't want to tell your story, so I kind of want you to tell
yeah.
it. But
I just want to.
I just love how you travel, like you have your plants. I can't keep a plant to save my life.
Oh my gosh, I don't know nothing about no plants and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, let me rewind because I stopped at the best friend thing and the ex and all this kind of stuff. And in a fast forward moment, like we're in a great place and we're co-parenting our kids, and like I'm just happy for him and the move on process in his life, and we both kind of like are doing our own thing. We just come together it, when it's about the kids. So I'm grateful in that. So that was a big factor in like just moving forward and like not, because I knew if me and that situation could be good, I can get through anything, maneuver
Right.
anything. I have to. My youngest is 13, so you know, this is somebody that's in my life, that's been in my life for a long time. So that's that. But other than that, when you talk about anxiety and stress and like maybe a little somewhat depression, I don't really know because I haven't been diagnosed or anything with any of that. But I know I probably felt because went through those emotions and things like that being on my own, because I was married for and in a situation almost for 16 years,
Mm.
15, 16 years, and to be from like 21 to 36, 37, like out here on my own, it's like, okay, now I have to do things like you don't have your partner in crime anymore. You know,
Right. Talk
I
about
think
that.
the first thing I had to do was sober up. I told myself, Benita, you love your wine, especially like it was right during like COVID time, and
Okay.
everybody was. That's when everybody who drank probably went up just a notch
Right.
more during that time. But it was like, I told myself, you have to get that out your life, because now you have to make decisions and smart decisions, and like you can't. So I actually did, you know, voluntarily put myself into a program, which it was AA, program for like 4 or 5, 6 months, and I like really enjoyed it because it really, you know, it. I met some women that I thought, you know, they were just women that were struggling with their own whatever was going on, and we just helped each other throughout the process. And on the other side of everything, I just kept it going. Just kept it going. So I'm like,
So when
right
you talk
now, I'm at
about, go ahead, I'm sorry.
3 years. I was gonna say 3 years and like 8 months
Ooh,
sober as far as with alcohol.
congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
So
like that's huge. That's really, really huge.
I would
And
take a sip of my Gatorade to
and
that.
ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, we got some people put in the chat, they are on water. That's why I said it's your drink of choice. Whatever makes you comfortable. And, I love this topic because when you talk about having these, and it's not all about health, right? Some people are still dealing with grief. Some people are still dealing with not liking their job. Whatever it is that, for you is that big thing that can cause the mental health, issues and the anxiety, the depression and things like that. When you set your intentions and you're like, no, I know I'm not gonna let this take over me, it gives you that greater life, right? To then where you're going to set your boundaries and say, hey, I know I have to cut this out. Like for me, I noticed that like when I started doing my research on anxiety, I learned that it's certain foods that we eat.
Yeah, it's lifestyle change.
Yes, it's a whole lifestyle change. So
Mm-hmm.
I started cutting out a lot of food, like the fast food, processed food. I started incorporating what I'm still big on water. Like I had to travel with water.
Mm.
Like that's how, embedded it was in my mind
Yeah.
to be like, I don't want no more anxiety attacks and things of that nature. So, when you talk about the intentional living, and we talk about the mental health, the mindfulness is so important. Like I went to therapy, and my therapist told me about grounding,
Yeah.
right? So going outside,
I was
take
just
your
gonna
shoes
speak on that.
off. Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, share that. Please share.
On. Well, I haven't been to a therapist yet or anything, but speaking of grounding, I think during that time when I was doing my treatment as far as trying to stop with alcohol, I just started gardening. I just kind of just started to put my hands in the dirt and go out there and pick weeds and just do stuff and mess around. And then when I would like get up, stand up, and within 30 minutes of doing that, I would notice, wow, I just planted like like it's just because your mind
Like,
goes
oh,
somewhere else. You start getting
yeah,
like you start thinking about other things and like and another thing it helped me process like my feelings and everything that I was masking because I felt like when I would be going when I would go through different emotions and different things, I would go and have a drink and I would
absolutely.
go
Wow.
and it was just like and oh okay, I feel better and all this stuff, but it's still there. So like not drinking makes allows me to for me allows me to like process my emotions and how I feel and everything that's happened in the past, to forgive myself, and like
Right.
just to move forward and understand that I'm still a great person, and just because I things didn't work out in this situation doesn't mean that something great can happen in the
And
next
I'm happy you
situation.
brought that up because that's how I started doing baking. Like, baking really helped me get through grieving my dad, and it kept my mind busy. So my cousin said the best thing to me. Shout out to Xavier. He told me because you mentioned on journaling as well. He said when you write stuff down, it takes it out of your mind and you put it on paper. And I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try that because I was so desperate. I was like, I'm gonna try any and everything that will work, and it
Yeah.
really works. Like when you write, I don't even care if you write it down. You at work, you write down these people stupid. You know what I'm saying? Just write,
And
write.
keep a
I
journal.
have so
Yeah.
many journals. Like,
And it's crazy because like I done rediscovered the what they call it, the what you call this camera, the
oh, that
camera where like the film comes out. Like hold on, I'm blind.
the Polaroid.
Yeah, there it is, the
Okay,
Polaroid. But this is called
we was
the
having
Insta.
90s trivia just then.
Yeah. So you see how it comes
See what
out.
I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I like put pictures in my journal now.
See, my journal don't look like that. Now I got to step my journal game up.
It's
Like,
like
I don't feel like I be
yeah,
journaling correctly now.
I don't
Not that
I
there's
don't
no
really.
right way to journal. You do it according to
It's no right way. Just
what works
right.
for you.
Keep it
Yeah,
moving. I don't think I've reread any of my journals. I don't want to go back to any of that stuff.
right.
Anything. I'm looking this way to the
Looking
future.
forward.
Like
And I'm so
looking like
happy
let me
you
do
said
today.
that.
Really.
Yes,
Not
yes,
even
yes,
looking
yes.
forward. Let me live for today. I try my best. It's great to plan for the future. Trust me. No
Absolutely.
doubt. I truly believe that. Trust me.
Because I think
But
everybody heard, like,
yeah,
you heard that saying where they were like, the
yeah.
your windshield is bigger than the that's why the rearview mirror is smaller. So when you're looking back in the past, you only looking through that your rearview mirror. Your
Yeah.
windshield
Right.
is a big window because so you can see everything that's ahead of you. Yeah, I think y'all know what I'm talking about. I probably messed that up.
Hmm.
Lauren says she loved journaling. She do it every day. When you write it out, you get more out than you speak. Yes, because sometimes you can't formulate the words because you for me I'm an overthinker and my mind is always racing. So I I will write an email. I'll write you. I'm like Aaliyah. I write a 4-page letter to express how I feel because it's more personable that way to me. So as opposed
Right.
to just
Try that.
speaking it, because then you're trying to get everything together. Hey Jamie, shout
Cousin
out
Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah.
Oh, hey, cuz. Yeah.
So now what I realized too now being in my intentional space for me, I only can speak for myself. I prioritize the people that matter, the people and
Yeah.
places that matter. Like I
Hmm.
don't, for me now, I don't have to be in the in crowd. I don't have to be on the scene. I'm very much a homebody.
Hmm.
I like to go out from time to time, but then I just be like my mom used to always say, Brittany, you got to be the last one. At the event, you the one that's helping the DJ pack up. Now I'll be ready to go. Okay. So I realized that being in my intentional space that I just don't have time for a lot of things and
Yeah.
I value people more and I prioritize the people who are here for me, you know,
Yeah.
who support me. I don't have time for the ones that don't. I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't got. It don't have to be no negativity.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. You know?
Yeah.
So, and
So
then
just like
mhm.
me
Now
and my
let's talk
stuff.
about traveling because that's my favorite thing to do
Okay.
and to talk about. That's like my second language, you know.
So with your would you say with your intentional living, do you travel more now, or this is something that you just picked up since you had your life change?
I travel more now because I'm able to because I'm a little bit more flexible now because of my situation and
Okay.
so how my lifestyle is and how everything is right now I'm able to do that as far as like just to take a little trip here, not to say I'm traveling all over the world because it's nothing like that, but
Okay.
you know
To
just to
me,
be
watching your
flexible for
story,
my kids.
you travel all around the world. That's the
I,
story I
I
tell.
Yeah, I've been a lot of places and I'm grateful. And I'm be honest, I've been more places since I found out I had cancer and like kind of been on my own. Out of
Okay.
just being a single woman. And it's just been like so beautiful internationally, but especially like I've done a cross country venture in my car, driving solo, like cross country. I live in Florida, so driving all the way as far as like Idaho, which is my favorite state. So, and I just love
Wow.
that state. But yeah.
Okay, so
Other than
before you go any further, telling us what prompted you to just drive? Like some people I hear they be like, "Oh, I'll just get on a plane and be there 2.5 hours, depending on where you travel, five, whatever." So, what made you want to get in this car and just go?
at the time, when I did that particular thing, that travel, I love driving. Like as of right now, I don't know if I would do that just because I would just be feeling things in my back and things happening,
Okay.
you know. But back then, I didn't feel anything. Like I wasn't feeling, doctors are telling me one thing, and I'm feeling like, so I'm gonna just go. Like I just
Yeah.
feel if I'm gonna go with how I feel, and I'm just gonna. And during that time, I did whitewater rafting, just all these extreme things, and like zip lining through the wood
Right.
jungles and things, just kind of like jumping out of airplanes or
Now
airplane.
let
I
me
don't
put
want to
this
say
disclaimer out
plane.
there for everybody that's watching. She is a
Did all of
daredevil,
it.
okay? She was the one who would ride the roller coasters
I said,
that
Cancer, you're not taking me out. You not
right.
this airplane right here gonna have to take me out.
There you go. Right.
This raft right
Absolutely.
here gonna have to take me out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's how I look at it. Shaking
I
and
have a
shivering.
couple
I'll
of
be
people in the
out.
chat that says that our intentional space allows us to focus on ourselves more, our inner feelings, thoughts, and it helps us to get to know ourselves on a different level. That is absolutely correct. Because I
Hmm.
realize how dope I am the more I spend time with myself and set those boundaries and stick to it. And I ain't getting on a roller coaster that I'm standing up on, but
Yeah.
I'm I'm happy with self, and that's what helps a lot to get through. What we have gone through, whatever that is for you. You know, out there in the lounge, and then as she also said, driving helps me get closer to God.
Let me tell you something.
It
I
makes
did
me feel like this is my time with God.
tell you,
Ooh, that's good.
and
That's
tell
good.
it was. I'm telling you, I drove like 3,000 miles and came back with two little puppies, 8-month-old puppies. One of them, if you follow my stories, I posted my little granddaughter, my
Hmm.
little white pup.
Your granddaughter.
When I look at that one, I'm like, that reminds me of my cross country venture because I drove that dog and the other sibling, all the way home. Just and so
It sounds like it's therapeutic. It was therapeutic for you.
it was.
And
And when I got back from that trip, that's when I found out I was in remission. So I always
mm,
give homage to that cross country venture that helped save me during that time because I did so many amazing things
I
during
think
that
personally looking back over that, because like I said, I've watched your journey. Um, this is my personal belief and opinions. I think you needed that drive because sometimes we get so caught up in the stress, of whatever we're going through, and all it does is it just feeds like that negative energy just feeds whatever it is that you're stressing about, respectfully other people around you who do care, they can add on to that. So I think removing
I don't
yourself,
allow it.
to,
I just exactly what you just said. Removing yourself, and trust me, I know how to do that. Like, if I want to not be in a situation, like, for whatever reason, if I'm tired, if I'm like just not feeling it, if I know how to be present and to remove myself, um, respectfully. And
absolutely. And I think too, for me, I also decluttered a lot in my life.
oh yeah,
Intentional,
I'm a minimalist,
intentional
I would
living.
say,
Like
very much
I
so.
don't, I don't want the noise to take up the space. I don't even care how small the space is in my head. I don't want that. So respectfully, even at work, like I take calls, okay, for work, and I have boundaries with that too. I've been told the people on the phone, "I love you. I'm gonna get you to the next representative because this is unproductive." You know what I'm saying? Like respectfully, we're gonna get you. We're gonna move on, but everything is done with respect when you're being intentional, because you
Yeah.
don't want. When you're intentional, you also understand the energy. The energy that you put out is what you want to receive. We all say that, but and it's hard. Some people gonna test that energy. Some people gonna test it. Now we spoke about the diagnosis and all that good stuff. Um, we take this drive. We do our mindful practice. Do you meditate?
I believe I meditate on my own. I don't sit here like, actually doing this, doing that kind of thing.
Okay.
But I think I wake up, I actually kind of go to bed really early, to be honest with you. Probably knocked out sleep by 9:30.
Rest is
Most
very
nights,
important.
but I do wake up at like 4 in the morning and I'm wide awake, but feeling fully energized because I slept from, and that's my quiet time. And I call it
Right.
poom time, which means peace of mind time. When I say I'm
That's nice.
pooming, I mean, I'm like just in my zen,
I
just
like
in my
that.
quiet. I might not have no music on. I don't hardly watch TV. I have a TV here. I turn on a YouTube if I want to learn how to do something. YouTube University. But
Cause I be on
other than
TikTok.
that, huh? Oh, your
I be
TikTok?
on
I haven't
TikTok
made it to
University.
TikTok yet. Yeah, my kid. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was like because my daughter is like 13 and always on it. I thought it was like something for the kids, so I never got into it yet. I don't know. But and then I'm on Facebook, so I feel like that's enough. I share enough
Yes,
of my
that is so important. What we feed our mind is so, so important.
yeah,
And even too, let me just say this too. My sister pointed that out, that we can control what we watch on our social media though. We do have control of that. So if it's stuff that you don't want on your timeline, you can hide it, I believe.
yeah,
If it's correct terminology or
yeah.
something.
I follow amazing people and
Yes.
positive energy vibes.
Intentional with your social media. That's a good one.
Yeah, just it's like you can monitor that. It's nothing. It's set in stone. You can make changes if you don't. So if people want to sit there and watch the negative stuff and listen and all this stuff that's going on. If it works for them that way, that's them.
Right.
So I do kind of. That's when I told you I kind of went through a stint at the beginning of the year and I deleted like everybody from my social media and I kind of re-added who I wanted and
Mm.
kind of did that. But it's just
I did that
pretty.
too. I went through my social media and cleared out like friends, people, Facebook friends. I cleared people out, and I didn't do it out of being angry with anybody. I was just like, yeah, we don't really have a connection, and this, that, and the third. Just the energy, just the energy. I'm really big on that. And you spoke about um not drinking anymore.
Mhm.
Kudos, kudos to you. Kudos to choosing your life, and coming on here and sharing your story with us. But the most important part of it all that I don't think that we all do is celebrate the moment. You gotta celebrate your moment. You
Yeah.
gotta clap for I clap for myself. I go in the mirror, I say my affirmations, you know, and I tell myself I'm proud of you. You know, because there's part of us that we don't share with the world, you know, that everybody don't get to see because it's not for everybody, respectfully, not,
Yeah.
nothing negative. But for me, I just take those times now. I ain't gonna say I always did this, but I take those times now to celebrate. Sometimes I look back like, wow, Brittany, your dad has been, he's expired now for 4 years. I remember saying I don't know what I would do without him.
He's such a good guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or it was a point where I was so fearful to get in a car because I had a really bad panic attack. Now I
Mhm.
could get in the car and I'm like, girl, look at you, go girl,
Yeah.
you know? Or I don't allow myself to walk around looking crazy. My hair for my natural girls, we got to twist our hair up at night to keep it moisturized and do all this stuff. I don't keep my twist in too long. Now I actually get up and I put clothes on because that does change your mental.
Yeah, that's every day.
If you work from home, get up and not only is it beneficial to your waistline, ladies, you'll thank me later. But
Yeah.
I ain't saying sit in no jeans, but
I
maybe
agree.
you
Yeah, I
know
put the
what I
jeans
mean?
up because first of all, I mean, I'm in South Florida. It is too hot. If you wearing like, I mean, I do have one or two pairs of jeans, but it's a throw on linen dress,
Right,
lightweight cotton Pima, like
right.
just kind of keeping it light. But other than that, just keeping everything minimal. Like I feel like I have exactly what I need in my life right now, and just keeping it simple. And yeah,
I
it's
promise
just
you, it was just like you knew everything that I was going to go over because the simplicity helps you enjoy the moment more when you don't overdo it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that, but simplicity to me is like I could just have people over like my house and I cook because I cook. But I could cook and we just
yeah,
watch a movie or we play board games. I'm a big Monopoly, Spade, Uno. That's my go-to board game. Like for me, life is great when you're
yes,
around good energy. It doesn't matter. We could be at the beach. Went to the beach 2 weeks ago with a couple of beautiful women, and it was simple. We ain't do all the extra. We ain't out there dragging coolers. We ain't out
yeah,
there doing the most. It was just so simple, and you can just really sit there and take in the moment and
hmm,
enjoy life and see it for what it really is. I think that's
yeah,
when you really get into the mindfulness and the Zen. Because I meditate, but I don't sit there like no, I ain't no like the last airbender. I don't have to
yeah,
sit there and have that arrow going on my head. I don't do all that. But I do take I do take my moments to breathe. Sometimes just inhaling, exhaling, and letting your shoulders relax can help out so much.
I
It
just
really
get up,
helps
dress
out.
up, tell myself, don't. When I went through my wardrobe and what I have, I told myself it's no fancy clothes over here and this for occasion. This I mix that stuff up and I'm like, whoop, wearing this today, whoop, wearing this today. I get it from, and I got to give my cousin a shout out for this, Miss Kat Toller, Catherine Toller, because I would go visit her and she'd be wearing like furs to go to the grocery store. She's like, oh, I gotta get some gas and go throw on like a
As one
I don't
should.
want to say like a fur, but she's fancy and I love it like all the time. And it doesn't matter. Like, and she's not waiting for an occasion. And I said, that rubbed off on me a little bit just to kind of be like,
But you know what that sounds like? That sounds like
yeah,
being your authentic self.
mm,
You pump your gas in your fur.
more
You do
tights and
that.
t
Yeah,
shirts
like just
running around here.
be you. Like I'm extra. I'm simple, but I'm extra. So you'll know when that extra comes out because
Not
it's
too
different
extra.
levels to my extraness. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
to each his own. Whatever. I never judge anybody and what they wear when they
at
step out
all.
their house. Because if you're bold enough to wear whatever you wear out of the door in front of everybody and you confident and whatever, you just think what you want to think in your head. I'm not one down with those people that gotta talk out loud about what people have on and how people are like vibing and stuff like that.
No, we're not doing
So
that.
it's just
Now, how do you
do me.
celebrate your moment? Like, things that are
All right.
important to you, your dates, what do you do to celebrate? And y'all can put it in the chat too. What do y'all do to celebrate your small wins, just day to day, however that looks for you?
I think what's been working for me, Britt, to be honest with you, is always having like a little travel plan. Even it don't have to be out of the country, out of the state, just something planned with something to look forward to. Like just something to always look forward to in a short amount of time. So, and it's a lot of people out here who work hard, who work a lot, and just if you just keep something planned, like every down the line, 3 to 6 months, just something to count down to. Like it just seems like it's a little bit more, it's easier. So for
I
me,
like that.
always just having something planned.
Yeah.
I have my journal on my calendar. Just always making sure, you know,
Now, when you
it
say
doesn't.
short, time, like, is this the timeline from, let's say, when you want to go on the trip, or this is your timeline of the extension of the days that you're on your trip?
Um, I guess it when you want to go on it. Like I always just tell people, just to always have something planned, especially if you work hard. It's not. I know you got to take care of your bills and take care of all your things that's going on in everybody's individual lives, but you always have to take some time and enjoy life, the little things. And
I like
so for
that.
me, everybody's not about traveling and doing all that, but things that I like to do. But yeah, so for me, that's what it is. So that's like what I enjoy, just to get away and try and venture and see new things in different places. And I'm
As
always
they
like
say,
one
work
and done.
hard,
I
play hard.
don't go to the same place that I've already been. Like, there's so many other things to do, and even here, like where I live locally, I'm always like trying to figure out, my area locally, and
Because
so
there's so much in Florida that I haven't even experienced.
mm,
I'm
which
like, I live here. I would live where the people vacation, and I ain't even seen all of Florida. So for me, what I do, um, so I don't play as hard as I should, to your point, because you made a valid point. I think it would be easier for us not even to just clock in to work, but just to get up and get your day started, get that engine
yeah,
started up when you do have stuff planned and it gives you something to look forward to. Like I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I'm going to a family reunion on my mom's side. I'm really, really excited about
those
that.
are fun. Those are fun.
I haven't seen my family in 20 years, I think.
Oh
I'm
wow.
36. So they haven't seen me since high school. But
Hmm.
to your point, it gave me something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like these days and hours and minutes are going by so fast. Some of us we don't get to live because we're in our day-to-day routine. So I love that you said that. Like, plan that trip, go get that
do it.
massage.
Just do
And
it. And I
like
say that
nightly.
because life is
Hello.
short. Like life, you never know what's gonna happen in your life. And
Right.
I'm just, I'm 42 years old right now, and I'm just thinking like, man, like I'm just grateful for every day. I'm just grateful. And and another thing that I do, I just do it. It's just something I enjoy. I love hanging out with mature people. And when I say
Oh,
mature, I'm going to
absolutely.
say like in age, 60 and older, and I've gotten into a lot of like things that a lot of mature people um, still do, which is sewing, in the sew world and stuff like that,
Yes.
and learning how to
Yes.
sew. And so I'm like living and understanding. I pray that I can get to that age one day. So I do admire the mature.
Right.
I don't like to say elderly because like that's so, the mature, the mature age
Yes, the mature.
individuals out there.
I love that you said that. I love hanging out with mature ladies as well. Because for me, I feel like it's prepping me to get to that next stage in life, right? Like you
Yes.
said, I pray I could get to my 50s, and my 40s. I'm jumping all the way to 50s, but get to those next milestones. But it's
Yeah.
also showing me, that it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to not be okay, not to have it figured out, but just being with these women who live life, You know what I'm saying? Like they already understand that time is not on their side, but time is not on nobody's side no more. It don't even matter your age. You know what I'm saying? You turn on the news, you got people younger than us, that's like not waking up today.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I speak on this like I'm really big on like how do I want my footprints to look, when it's time for me to leave this earth. So
yeah,
like you are just so you're inspiring me. Like Brittany, just book that trip. I want to go on a cruise.
just
That
try
it's
it.
things out there I want to do, and
Yeah,
you're like, just do it.
yeah, just do it. Just do it, even if you have to do it by yourself. I'm telling you, like it's great to go with somebody, and if you can find somebody that you can go with, like a friend or your person or whoever, like I'm not telling anybody by means, like just go on your.
Right,
But if you don't have anyone to go with, or you're waiting for someone to go with, and everybody's schedule just changes, it's okay to just take that to try something on your own, because you end up meeting other people, and you never know. Like it's a bunch of people out there that travel
right,
solo.
absolutely.
I realized that doing that a few times, but at the end of the day, it's so much out here, even domestically. You don't have to go out of the country to see
You don't have to spend a lot of money neither.
beauty of this country, this world. So
Right. I just love your aura and the energy. Like you're just so chill and just like, yep, let's just do it. I'm all about living life. Like I I'm just so excited to be a part of your journey. To see it like I shared with you before. I'm really proud of you for coming on, sharing your story with us, talking out loud. Like
mm,
I love that you accepted the invitation to come on, and I am so grateful that you're here,
yeah,
and you still gonna be here because God ain't finished with He ain't finished with us yet. We got a greater purpose, and
yeah,
so one thing I looked at it when you're talking about celebrating every moment is also like what we're doing, sharing our stories, building that community, creating the safe spaces for women, um, and men too. I don't always leave my men out. I love my men here in the ladies' lounge. So just creating that safe space for women everybody to understand that, hey, everybody has a story.
yeah,
Like I always say, we are subject matter experts for our own life experiences. Um, and I just hope that something was shared today, with everybody. Just live intentionally. You're
yeah,
going to love it. Celebrate your small win. You heard it
yes,
here in the ladies' lounge. Just do it. Book that trip.
yeah.
Take your
So,
life back.
can I leave everybody with something real quick? My mom just
Oh,
gave this to
please.
me like an hour or so ago, and a friend just gave it to her. I'm gonna cut it a
Oh,
little short. It
okay.
says, "And despite," and that's through my phone. So, "And
Okay.
despite everything, we must continue to enjoy with serenity this time we have left. Let's try to eliminate the laters. I'm doing it later. I'll say it later. I'll think about it later. We leave everything for later, like later is ours, because we don't understand is that later the coffee gets cold, later priorities change, later the charm is broken, later health passes, later the kids grow up, later parents get old, later promises are forgotten, later the day becomes the night, later life ends, and then it often is too late. So let's leave nothing for later, because while waiting for later, we can lose the best moments, the best experiences, the best friends, the best family members. The, the day is today. The moment is now. We no longer at the age where we can afford to postpone what needs to be done right away. So let's see. So let's, okay, hold on. So let's see
Okay.
if you have
Just
time to
breathe.
read this message and then share it, or maybe you'll leave it for later. So that's it. Like,
Oh,
that's it.
thank you.
My mom gave me
Thank,
that.
thank
So
you,
I
Auntie
was
Pat. We needed that.
no
That's
later.
That's what we
I told
need.
myself
That's
I wasn't
it.
gonna tear up on here,
No,
but
it's okay. That's what we do here. We keep it real. That's what I wanted this platform to be. It's to show everyone that we're human.
yeah,
We're going through life. Life is lifing. You don't look like what you've been through. I'm going to say it again and again. I am so very proud of
thank
you
you.
coming on here
Yeah.
and sharing your story with us. We got everybody in the chat talking about that was powerful.
Can't
You're
wait to
such
see
a
this
bright
chat.
light. It's like
I probably was
you
all over the place
are.
with it.
Oh my gosh, you don't understand. Like this is what I wanted this podcast to be about. Like you don't everybody will let you know in the chat. Yes, Lauren Raw. This is what it's supposed to be, an open space, right? And I'm over here blinking because I'm trying not to
I'm
let loose.
just
I
using
know
the
I'm a crybaby.
must
So
be the medicine. I'm gonna blame it on the medicine.
right.
That's the
But this
medicine.
this is exactly what I wanted to come out of this. So don't ever, nobody
Yeah,
ever apologize for being authentically you. Those words were beautiful, and I hope that everybody heard each word, took it in, marinate on that, and if
yeah,
it's something that if that's something that can be shared, if that's something I could share, if your mom, Auntie Pat, don't mind,
yeah.
this this was phenomenal, phenomenal.
Let's
Like
go.
I just can't thank you enough for coming on, sharing, share. I
Mwah.
know. I wish we was on the iPhone so the hearts could come up,
Oh
but
yeah, like kids show me how to do that.
I can't. So I'm gonna ask out loud.
Out loud.
How do you feel talking out loud? How do you feel now?
I feel great. I feel great. Today is a great day, and this is a great evening. I'm here. I feel great. Um, have some great plans ahead. I'm looking forward to some great things happening. So, yeah, life is good. I'm gonna stick with that. I have great. My mom is great. I have great sisters. My kids are awesome. You just have an awesome
The whole family
um,
dope, y'all. The
tribe
whole
around me. Yeah,
family is
yeah,
dope. Everybody's asking, please share if Auntie Pat don't mind if we could share those words. People
yeah.
listening with
Oh
them
yeah.
because that was so 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 wow. And if
Hmm.
you missed it, this as always, this is going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel. So don't forget to go over there and like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, y'all
This
do.
tonight's topic in living intentionally and
Yeah.
celebrating the This is a celebration. Like this, we gonna celebrate this tonight because
Mhm.
I understand, and I know from my just from where I am being on this platform talking among all of these people, it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you. But I knew I couldn't run from it anymore. God was telling me that, Brittany, just do it. And I got
Mhm.
some,
And I'm
and
very proud
I'm
of you. I'm
so
very
thank
proud of
you.
you. Yeah, your episodes are really good. Like I told you, I was sitting there braiding my hair yesterday, and I watched the first two episodes. Like, oh, that's okay. I was halfway done with my hair. By the time, I was like, okay,
Look
it's
at
good.
me holding it down while the people getting
I'm
their
next. I'm
hair
next. I
done.
can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I love this. Betsy says she love us.
That's my baby. That's my baby sis, y'all. That's Bitsy. Yeah.
Well, again, we in the ladies lounge. So join me
Okay.
next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Y'all know I just have just so many topics, so much. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it. So episode 3, y'all still rocking with me. And I love each and every one of y'all.
Yeah.
Go have a great day on purpose. Have an amazing week. We out.
Later.